Back in 2021, April of 2021, I was in my mid-30s, and I quit my job at a large chain grocery store. I was working full-time, working in the grocery department. And I generally liked the job. It was just, at this point, I had been working, this was a year after the pandemic, and I was getting very tired of the working conditions that we were in. And this lined up with previous investments I made that had done really well. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to ride on some of this money and just kind of clear my head. I ended up taking 2.5 years off. Looking back, I probably should have only done a year and got back in the workforce, but hey, it is what it is. I did have a good time. You know, I did some road trips and kind of enjoyed myself, but after a while, you know, I wanted to get back in the workforce, and plus I couldn't, you know, I couldn't keep riding on my investments. You know, I wasn't in any position to be early retired. I just wanted some time off. Anyway, I wanted to get back in the workforce, but I found it kind of hard. I've been working since I was 14 and had never taken a long, extended period of time off ever since then. I've always been, you know, going from job to job, doing mainly custodial work or, you know, working in the grocery department somewhere in a grocery store, doing some sort of manual labor. And even with my experience and my skills, I found it hard to find a job. I was getting kind of nervous. And so this is about late summer of 2023, and I'm starting to kind of freak out because, you know, money's getting tight and I need to find something. And so I couldn't find the job I really wanted. So I was in a mindset, I'll take anything. And so I actually ended up working part-time for a company that makes beef jerky locally. Now, this was not glamorous work. This was minimum wage. This was a very humbling experience because I hadn't worked a job like that since I was a dishwasher when I was 14, and I hated that job. And this wasn't a great job. This wasn't what I was looking for, but I needed something to show other companies on my resume that I was currently working a job, something. So companies like seeing that you're currently working somewhere. So I needed something, anything, and that was that anything. I was working, making beef jerky, wasn't glamorous, minimum wage, it sucked. So I did that for about 5 months until I finally got the current job that I have. Which is working full-time as a school custodian, great benefits, good pay, all that stuff. Thank God. But during that time, I was trying to find a job and money was getting tight. I was getting nervous. I was really getting nervous, and I was getting very discouraged because I was applying to a lot of places. You know, here I am, you know, pretty confident in my skills and my experience, but not getting any bites out there. And I was in a desperate situation where I just needed to take anything, and I did. And, you know, all things worked out well. But here's my message. Don't quit your day job. Okay? Your job might suck right now. All right? It may not be what you want it to be. Every job sucks. I don't care what you're doing. Every job has some degree of suckiness to it. The thing is, right now I'm seeing a lot of people desperate for a job. Anything. I'm hearing stories of people literally sending in thousands, or not thousands, but like up to 1,000 applications and getting very little response out there. It's rough out there. The economy isn't what you or I would want it to be. You don't have all these, choices of, where you want to go, where you want to work. It's not the way you want it. It's rough out there. People are getting discouraged. People are getting depressed. And if I had a job right now that I didn't like, I wouldn't just jump out of it naked with no plan. If you feel like you don't like your job and you want to quit it, get another job lined up, or take the risk of starting your own business. Maybe you have a bunch of clientele you already have in mind, but the thing is, you need a solid plan. Don't just jump out of your job naked. Maybe you saved up a bunch of money and then you can ride on that for a little while until you get a next job. Hey, good for you. Maybe that's a pretty good plan. But if I just wouldn't jump out naked from the job I have now without another job lined up. Right now, that seems pretty dangerous. And I know the job conditions in whatever industry, they're not pretty, they're not glamorous. That's a subject of a whole nother video. But I wouldn't just jump out without another job lined up, with something lined up, without a solid plan. There's a lot of desperate people out there right now. As I said, people are discouraged. These are people with skills. These are people with experience and skills, but they're not getting any bites, and they're looking for anything, and they're not getting responses. So I'm grateful to God that I have the job that I have now. If you have a job and it's not glamorous, don't let your emotions get the best of you right now. I would, unless you have a solid plan, don't quit your day job. So that's all I got for you. Take care and God bless.